How's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, out and about and up and about. Because that's not been taken for granted over the last couple of weeks. Hospital stays, not been very well. I had a period of time I couldn't even get to the football. Luckily, obviously, I made the cup final and everything, and I made the last home game at St James's Park, which was absolutely fucking fantastic. Place was rocking, great result. We did a number over Chelsea, so I was absolutely over the moon to be back. But before then, the last home game was probably back at the beginning of February against Fulham, which obviously didn't go brilliantly. But, you know, after that game back in Fulham, did I think we'd be fighting out for second when it comes to the second and last game of the season? Probably not. However, you know, what a run that we've been on. There's been one or two little blips on the way, your Villa performance and result and bits like that, but I think everything taken into account, the more competitive nature of the league this season as well, with the, you know, the three teams who went up being so poor, so more points being distributed throughout the league. Easy for me to say. You know, has made for a very intriguing last 2 weekends. The results last night, I'm recording this on the Saturday lunchtime-ish. You know, they didn't help us, but to be honest, did any of us think that Manchester United could do us a favour, Spurs could do us a favour? As soon as I saw the Spurs team sheet, it's disgusting, to be honest. I honestly think it does affect the integrity of the league. I know Liverpool have been playing a weakened side as well, and that's gift wrapped Chelsea some points in their encounter. I just think it's wrong. You know, if the shoe was on the other foot, the other clubs would want us to play as strongest team as is possible, and I know that those clubs know nobody else a favour, but for the integrity of the league, there should be some sort of rule about playing weakened sides, about making wholesale changes, about leaving players behind at the training ground who are fit and available and would be first team starters but just aren't because you're resting for another game. Look, the game was brought forward a day to give them extra preparation time, and yet you're still leaving players behind. You're still not playing your full strength teams. You know, it's batshit fucking crazy. It really is absolutely bonkers. So, yeah, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. But to be honest, I wasn't expecting jack shit from Manchester United, and I wasn't expecting jack shit from Spurs. Manchester United at least put a little bit of a fight up. They were close, you know, with a couple of decisions going against them last night. I was watching bits of that game on the TV. And, you know, I thought they were unfortunate. I thought Chelsea were not all that great, and that gives me more hope going into this weekend's game. Obviously, it's a difficult game for Newcastle United, but we have beaten them 3 times this season. So, you know, 4th time, can we do it again? If we can, it really sets the cat amongst the pigeons with regards to qualification for the Champions League. That will be sorted pretty much, done and dusted, because we need one victory out of the 2, you would say. But with regards to second, if we could get the victory down at the Emirates, oh my word, can you imagine the fucking bottom lip quivering on Mikel Arteta, Lego head? Can you imagine it? He's sulking, his list of excuses. What would be the reason why they lost? Because it's never his fault. It's never Arteta's fault. It's the ball, it's the grass is too wet, it's too green, the sky is too blue. You know, there's always some sort of absolute crazy conspiracy theory. I'm surprised he doesn't wear some sort of a tin hat. You know, he's that level of absolute craziness. But yeah, it would be great. I mean, a point would probably suit both sides in the big scheme of things. A point there, finish the job off against Everton at St James's Park, a game I will be at as long as there's no sort of reaction to what's been going on over the last couple of weeks. So fingers crossed, everything bloody crossed, that I will make that game. And hopefully either, you know, down at the Emirates or at St James's Park next weekend, we will get Champions League qualification sorted. We will finish either 2nd, 3rd, 4th or 5th and do the business. That would be absolutely and utterly fantastic if we could finish in one of those, you know, positions. It's all about Champions League qualification. Yes, 2nd would be nice. There's extra merit payments. Every place in the Premier League is worth an extra couple of £1 million. So a chance to, you know, sort of top up the bank balance as you were, but for me it's just all about Champions League qualification. If we can do that on top of getting the cup this season, it will be a fucking brilliant season, because regardless whatever what happened at Wembley, winning that cup against Liverpool, the performance, the run, the fact that we've had to do it the hard way, it already makes this season the best season that I've ever watched, and I've watched one or two over the years. There's a couple of miles on the clock, but look, even sort of sick on the deathbed, if you will, I was going to be getting down to Wembley and seeing that game, and it's etched in my brain. It's etched. I must have watched it back 1,000 times. I probably watch it back probably most days, to be honest. I watch at least the highlights of the game back, or a video connected to that final. This season is the best season ever, regardless of what happens, regardless to the league finish, because of that cup victory and what it means for the club, what it means for the supporters, and the potential for future seasons based upon that. Because since we've won that cup, the run that we've gone on, the self-belief that it's given us is absolutely nuclear off the fucking charts. So the Champions League qualification would just put the cherry on top of the cake. And you go back to what the chairman said at the end of the game: this is the first, it won't be the last. It's going to be the first of many cup competitions, successful league campaigns. Sky's the limit with regards to everything. And from what Eddie Howe said in his press conference yesterday, it is going to be an exciting summer. Lots of players have been linked. There will be varying factors of truth in between them all, but the top and bottom of it, and from everything that's been said and spoken by Eddie Howe, and he's been very cautious in previous transfer windows, but he's talking about having a good summer. So again, after what he's delivered, after what he's done for the club, he literally could walk on the River Tyne as far as I'm concerned. And I'd 1,000% believe that. So it looks like it's going to be a good summer. Few players moving out, few players moving in. Wilson yesterday getting linked with Leeds. I think that probably works out particularly well for him. A big club, big stadium, big stage. He gets to continue on for another season or two. But for me, the time has come. I just think his legs, I mean, he could come on and score the winning goal tomorrow, but I just think there comes a time. Wilson could be moving on. There could be others as well, linked with goalkeepers left, right and centre. Is Pope going to hang around? There's a few players who are out of contract. There's a few that need the game time and need to be able to move on. Longstaff getting linked to Leeds. Willock getting potentially linked with Crystal Palace. So they're all things that Eddie Howe will have to take under advisement, have a think about, and just look how the land lays. But if we've got the money to be able to do some deals, bring some players in, move some players out, have a refresh after a couple of windows where we haven't done anything really at all, then I'm all absolutely for it. 1,000% back any decision that Eddie Howe makes. Like I say, he could break into your house at the night time and you just ask him, do you need a hand? That sort of thing, he literally is an absolute god on Tyneside. But back to tomorrow's game. They had up to 9 players out at one point. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the 9 players out when the team sheets released tomorrow. I think they're going to have a few players back, but they're going to be missing a few. We are missing a few still, obviously, as well. Still question marks over the availability of the likes of Sven Botman and Joe Linton. And I think, to be honest, if there's any even slight doubt, there's just no point. It's going to be a major season next season, and we need to have our main sort of blue chip players available for us. So it makes no sense to risk them, let them get injured, and then they're missing for a chunk of next season or missing pre-season, because literally then you're already chasing yourself if you're missing pre-season out. So I'd rather get them right, fit, sorted properly, not through injections and stuff, to get them fit, get them ready for next campaign, and have them fit and firing. And if there's some players who deserve a season where they just literally fit all season, it would be certainly Sven Botman. Joe Linton as well has missed chunks here and there, and obviously I'll add Lascelles into that. Nice to see him coming back. Nearly scored against Celtic B or whatever they want to call themselves. 1-1 draw, but Lascelles nearly scored, played 45 minutes, so you would expect him to be back on the bench for the weekend. If he's on the bench at the weekend, he's played 45 minutes earlier in the week, he's capable of coming off and maybe filling out if we're ahead in the game to try and see it out, see it through. He's definitely capable of doing a 10-15 minute spell, to try and shore things up at the back, maybe change formation, anything else like that. But I think apart from anything else, it'll be pretty much unchanged. I've seen a couple of people in the comments mention about Isak. I've no worries about Isak. The goals are being shared about at the moment, but I've no doubt that if one drops in the box or if a clip ball's put in, he'll be on the end of them and he'll still get goals. I mean, you don't score the goals that he scored this season without being absolutely outstanding. So again, 1000% confidence behind Isak. And again, talk about a new contract in the summer. I think there'll be a few. Bruno as well. And if we can get a couple of our lads signed up, Sven Botman talk about a new contract because PSG are interested. Again, all the better. New contracts, moving out some of the players who need to be moved out and some more players brought in. Absolutely fantastic. And then let's just go give it a free shot as we've done for the 3 previous times against Arsenal. We've won. Set the cat amongst the pigeons. Upset the cartel, upset the Premier League, Richard Masters and all them, no doubt. And then let's have a go on the last day of the season. Let's see if we can finish second. Add a little bit more jeopardy and a little bit more spit and polish to the season, perhaps. But as I touched upon before, anywhere in that top 5, I am more than happy about. Let me know what you think about all the transfer rumours, players who are possibly going out, players who are going in, and our chances down at the Emirates. I am confident that we will get a victory down there. I think just Eddie Howe at the moment has got a little bit of a number on Arteta. Their season is sort of, I don't know, just dripping away. We've all seen the PSG stuff. It's dropped away for them in the league and stuff as well. So yeah, it's interesting to see. Interesting dynamic. I think Eddie will sort of tactic him again, get us the victory. I'm going to go 2-1 to Newcastle United, and yeah, can't wait then for the last game of the season and to see how that one goes. Fingers crossed. But yeah, let me know about all that down below in the comments, and in the meantime, yeah, keep it tuned and I'll speak to you later.